Hey guys, and welcome to the Glitter Review. I'm your host, Miss Indy, and today we are going to be reviewing The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself. We about to get into it. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm ready to let you guys know how I feel about this. So, my first perception when I was watching, like when I was looking on Netflix, and I was looking for something to watch, because like every day I'm looking for something to watch. So I was like, okay, The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself. Like it was something that I really didn't really hear too much about. It wasn't something that was like, that was showing me that was popular on Netflix. So I said, it has witches. But then I was like, it looks like there's a whole bunch of teenagers in it. So I was like, should I watch it? Shouldn't I watch it? And guess what I did? I watched it. Now, to give you a little history on the actual book, because that's what it originally was. It was a book. The original book was written by Sally Green. Sally Green actually, the original book was totally different. The series and the book it's totally different. Well, not totally. The characters is really the same. But when Joe Burton did it over, when he wanted to make a series out of it, he actually changed some of the characters around. For example, in the original book, Gabriel and Nathan, they were the main characters in the book. Now, Annalise did come in the story, but it was like towards later. So, she's actually in the movie, actually in the book, but just not as, her presence isn't as strong as it is in the actual series. Now, in the series, I see why Joe Burton added her on and kept her actually in it, because her presence was everything in the movie, in the series. It was everything. It was great. She really made an impact on how the movie came out, how it flowed. So I'm glad that thanks Joe Burton for keeping her on. She really made a difference in the actual show, series, whatever you want to call it, say. So, as I get into the beginning, I want to say that I really liked how the progression went. The progression was everything in this movie. I really liked how they showed Celia and her partner. I can't think his name. So, we're going to call him the guy with the dreads. The guy with the Celia and her partner, the guy with the dreads. It showed them how they actually got them, and the mother was dead, and they handed them off to the grandmother, and then the grandmother named Nathan. I thought that was really good. I thought that how they did that was really good. And then it progressed and it showed Celia coming to visit Nathan, testing him out, cut him, seeing how fast he healed, seeing if he heard heartbeats, seeing if he got angry. I thought that was like great. And a lot of it you really don't understand into the progression of the show of why she was actually doing certain things, because it all makes sense. And I like when movies build up to certain things. Now, as the story progressed, you really kind of got to see how much discrimination that Nathan dealt with, all because his father was the big, bad Marcus Edge, the baddest witch of them all. And the sad thing about the discrimination was even his sister, his own sister, started treating him bad. Well, she really treated him bad all the time. And it wasn't like he was a bad person. He was always, at the beginning part, he was always good. And I really appreciate his grandmother for always loving him. And that's one thing I do like. His grandmother loved him unconditionally, even though she knew that his father was the baddest witch of them all. she still loved him. But what was sad was how people treated him. And I guess if you had intentions of being a bad person, or they thought that you had possibility that you was going to be a bad person, people will probably treat you bad too. But sometimes you just got to give people a chance. This is why I like Annalise, because she treated him like a normal person. She really was like a true friend. And it was sad that her parents didn't want her to see him. And that's typical Juliet, Romeo and Juliet. So let's get into Sal. Now, honestly, when either the show first started, you really didn't really think that he was like a bad guy. But as time started going, he was like, yo, he's really a bad guy. This dude is a bad guy. And it was shocking. Like, I'm not going to really go too much into it. But I'm going to say this one thing. And then we got to move on. But when he killed his brother, I was like, okay. Dude is evil. And that's when I knew he was evil. But we all need a good villain in a movie, and he was the villain. You know who has him out-villained? Yes, out-villained is Jessica, Nathan's sister. She out-villained him. She really did. I mean, I knew she was evil, but she was something else. She out-villained him. And who would have thought? Now, I knew that, like, in the beginning when she like switched to Nathan's mother and like played that little trick on him, because, you know, she has that whole disguise power. I knew she was kind of messed up. But for her to turn into a villain, the way she turned into a villain was crazy. She did a good job. That actress, I forgot her name, but she did a good job. Because, you know, everybody can't play villains good, but she did her thing. I mean, she was so believable. So, let's get into Gabriel. You know, when he first came into the series, you really didn't know what to think about his character. You didn't know if he was going to be good. You didn't know if he was going to be bad. You know, he was funny, though. He was definitely funny. He had a comical side to him from the beginning. But you really didn't know where it was going to go. Eventually you did, obviously. You did find out where it was going to go. But I really liked his character. I liked how it really showed how the relationship developed into like a really strong relationship with him, Nathan, and Annalise. Annalise didn't like him at first, but everything started changing, and that part of the series really developed into something nice. Now, y'all know where I'm gonna go, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Now, I gotta step back for this. Now, throughout the series, right, you thought that Nathan and Annalise were lovers. They liked each other. They liked each other when they was in school. She was thinking about him. He was thinking about her. They was lighting matches, doing all that stuff. And then the part that really stuck out to me was when Nathan, Gabrielle, and Annalise was sleeping in the bed. You see Nate looking at him like, not looking at him, but they was sleeping. He was looking at him like, I was like, now we all know that Gabriel was gay. They show him with somebody he was dating at kind of like the beginning when it was kind of like going over his life and stuff like that. But, child, who would have thought that Nathan was gay? Now, don't get me wrong. I noticed that Netflix, two things Netflix is doing, and I'm just being bipartial. I'm being impartial because this is just from looking from the outside as somebody who reviews movies. Now, in a lot of their movies, and I watch a ton of Netflix series, movies, so forth, they are really into the biracial thing. And they're really into the whole lesbian gay thing, which doesn't bother me. If you're for it, I'm for it. I don't care. Seeing, some people don't like to see gay scenes because they're like, oh, it's two men kissing or, whatever. I don't care about that. I'm going to still watch it. And I actually thought Nathan and Gabrielle was kind of cute, especially when they gave that infamous kiss. And that kind of makes you wonder, like, was Nathan just leading Annalise on? Or maybe, just maybe, Nathan's just buying want to have his cake and eat it too. Let's go back to Gabrielle. I liked how they had like a lot of mystery, like throughout the series, they had a lot of mystery to him. They show him in his little kid's book, as Annalise would say. They showed how important it was to him. And I think that when you really get towards the end and you see how Mercury was like erasing his memory and stuff like that, I can see that meant a lot to him by writing the names down. That really meant a lot to him because that's how he kind of remembered, okay, well, this person was in my life. Now, I felt that was important. It had some significance to it. When they showed it, anything in movies that they show you like little clips of or like deep details of it, it means something. And when they showed that scene with Nathan writing his name down in the book, I knew that meant something too, and it was going to eventually mean something. And it did. So let's get into the end. Because I can't talk to you guys forever. Because I could really talk to you forever about everything in this series because it was so good. But I really want to kind of get a little bit back into Annalise and her powers and how she really was able to use them. She actually took on Jessica. And we all know Jessica was like the supervillain. And she took her on. She didn't take her down. Because obviously, at the end, she wound up going with Mercury. And they wound up in cahoots. But I really like how, like, towards the middle, I knew that Nathan wasn't going to be the one to kill his father. And I kind of knew it was going to switch around to her that was going to kill her father. Because somebody needs to kill Sal. Somebody needs to kill him. Soul. Look at me saying the name wrong. Somebody needed to kill him. And she had such strong powers that she was one of the only people that could do it. And I'm glad that she did it. Because all that prophecy that they was making on Nathan, it really was about her. Little did they know. Little did everybody know. He was the one that was really the bad guy. And I liked how finally at the end, she stepped up and she was able to use her powers. Because her powers was good. You could tear apart people. Could you imagine that people could tear apart everybody? As soon as you get mad, let me just tear you apart. But anyway, to wrap it up, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. As you can see, it's so much more I can really talk about this show. But I'm not gonna be up here for an hour. Shoot. We know that the series was good. If you've seen it, you know the series was good. I know it was kitty, but it was good. I'm going to give this 5 sparkles. 5 sparkles. We're going to give it 5. And that's a lot because a perfect show is rare. And I want to give a shout out to the British actors, UK actors. They were really good. All of them was good. All of them did an excellent acting job in this. And I really want to, I'm really looking forward to part 2. I'm hoping they make a part 2 because, you know, a lot of Netflix series, they start them and then they don't come back. And you be looking for them and they never come back. So I'm hoping this one really comes back because it was definitely worth it. It's worth them making. I don't know how much the ratings. I don't know how the ratings is doing. I know I liked it. I don't know about the general population, but it was a good show. 5 sparkles. About to say 5. 5 sparkles. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of me. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.